Welcome back to the randInt podcast with Raffy and Chandra. Huzzah!
Yeah.
Yay! This has to be one of our most delayed episodes ever, I think. Not just this year, but just ever. And for our dear, dear listeners, it's all Chandra's fault. Not putting any blame anywhere specific, but it's Chandra. Dear
Completely
Lord.
unforeseen thing.
Literally the number of ones where he's like, I forgot, or sorry, there's a storm coming, or my boat is broken. Like,
Sorry, the poo hose needs to be connected to the other side now. Ugh.
yeah. So like at one point he's like, yeah, see, this is how the septic tank is connected right now. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this, you chose this boating life, but I don't think it chose you.
No, the sewage lines did not choose me.
So I thought since we've kind of missed a whole chunk, we would do a very quick how are ya, a little recap of the year, and just go through our highlights for the year and what we hope to do next year. In a very short fashion, because Chandra, again, time zones mean that he's like, I can't remember if you're up too early or like, or you're staying up too
It's
late.
now getting quite late here.
By the way, for those watching on video, I mean, Chandra's basically got like that hairdo from, it reminds me of like Asterisk. Is it like, the comic?
I keep asking the turtles here whether they give me a haircut, but no, apparently they don't. They don't work on a Saturday, they say.
How would I describe it? He's got like basically the hair follows his skull up until just above his ears. Then it like arcs up. Like this kind of like that asterisk of wings and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I can fly now. Flap, 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 flap.
Like I feel like there's a cartoon character where there's like, it's not quite Einstein because he's got like a pyramid coming off like the sides of his head, essentially, of hair.
Yeah.
There is a cartoon character. I can't think of it.
It's for maximum sailing lift. That way, when I'm sailing, I get extra bonus speed.
Yeah, he holds on to the mast and then he is the sail.
And then I go,
So, quickly, how are you?
I am now finally have arrived in the sailing grounds. So, for a bit of background, for the last 3 months, I've been in the US, and it's been getting progressively colder and colder and more miserable. But I wasn't allowed to leave officially until the end of November because of insurance reasons. But what that meant was essentially I had to get some, of course, there's always urgent repairs to be done. So I had to do some urgent repairs. As soon as I got that repair done and left, 3 days later, there's like a snowstorm in that spot. Then got to the next place and was like, all right, we got to keep going. Go. Then left that space, went down a bit further south, again, another snowstorm hits that place. And pretty much for like a good 3 weeks, everywhere I'd leave, 3 days later, there happens to be snowstorms where I just was. My boat is not made for snow.
That's good. You left. I mean, you'd left by then.
I had. It was like just getting out of there. And initially had planned to sort of head offshore. And basically, there's lots of different ways to get from the US out to the other islands. So there's this one way that some people do called the Intercontinental Waterway, which is basically like, it's like a man-made river kind of thing, and you can motor down the whole way.
Canal.
Yeah, sort of like that, but it runs up and down the entire coast of the east coast of the US, and it's on the inside. So it's like a waterway on the inside that you can just motor along, and there's some cool towns you can see and stuff. But the catch is there's bridges, and some of those bridges have maximum heights. Yeah. So my sailing boat has a mast that is
tiny.
about 5 meters too tall. So
it's okay. Just chop it down a little bit.
There are people who actually do that. They even if they have like a boat with a bigger mast, they still chop it down. Like people that live in the US. I'm like, all right, makes sense.
Okay.
Then the other the nice way to do it is just the full offshore run. You just leave and then head offshore for like 7 days and get there, or 5 days maybe. But when I was leaving, the weather is very unstable around this time of year. So it's basically like storm, 2-day storm, another storm. Wait, there's another one. And so the weather forecasting becomes very inaccurate as well. So you look one day and you're like, there's a perfect passage. And you look the next day and you're like, oh no, that's death. And you look the next day, it's like, it's perfect. So you basically know that their forecast is useless.
So wait, like I need to see if I've got a adequate sound for this. No, I don't have it, but we will just go with a drum roll, which is to signify our tiny violins going and playing for you. Oh no, I live on a boat that I chose myself. How will I cope? Yes,
I chose the
our
nice weather,
listeners.
not this. This is very inconvenient. So then I had
Yeah, I
to
wish we had
run
like that.
down the coast of the US, which was kind of
Oh
nice because then I
no,
got to see more of the US.
terrible, terrible.
It was rough. It was rough. But I remember distinctly there was one day where it went from everybody's in, cold, like puffy jackets to the maximum weather to there was just one day I woke up for my night shift. And when you go outside, it's like cold. And so you're like, quick, get into your sleeping bag upstairs. But there was one night I was like, I'm not freezing. Like, this is unusual. And then by daytime,
Terrible.
everybody's in shorts. And it's like, finally, so like literally just overnight from one day to the next, it goes from cold and freezing to life is better.
No, it was wonderful. Cold and wonderful, I think is the words you're looking for.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And
I
then
can't imagine
after a few
like,
more random stops along the way, including $400 in bribes, which was a bit more than I expect bargained for.
what? What? You were like, oh, the weather's too cold. Here, I'm just going to throw money into the water and hope it changes. Like, what were
Yeah,
you
well, when
bribing?
you check into various countries, different countries have different rules, and turns out in the Bahamas, every island has its own made-up rules. So you pay like it's like $800 for 3 months to stay here, um, and that's fine. That's their cruising fee. You pay, and that supports them, etc. No problem with that. But then if you arrive on a weekend, you're
Oh,
supposed to be
yeah,
able to
of
just stay
course.
there, right? Or
No,
they're
no,
supposed to send. But no, no, no. In
no.
this place,
Of
they
course not. There's
decided,
a weekend
oh, no,
fee.
no, there's a weekend fee.
Yeah.
And, you're over there. There's an extra fee. Oh, but there's two of us now that have to come. So we better charge extra fee. Anyway, so that was a slightly larger, fee than I budgeted, but oh well. Got in, got there, and yeah, I finally got to kind of the nice part. And today was the first day with no wind, and it was one of those days where you can actually look off the back of the boat. And the boat's anchored in like maybe 3 meters of water, but it looks like you can see all the grass directly under you. It's kind of like occasionally there's like these days where you're like, oh yeah, there's a reason that I'm holding the sewage pipeline in one hand while on the phone in the other.
I don't know. So every time we've tried to actually organize a podcast episode in the last, what, nearly 3 months, it's been like, oh, no, there's a crack in this thing that needs thing. I'm like, I don't know, dude. You've chosen this life. I don't see the perks. I think I like my apartment better. That doesn't move, doesn't seem to have random cracks, and I don't have to fix the sewage line because I wouldn't know how.
Yeah, I didn't either. It turns out YouTube's a trove of knowledge.
Or not doing what you're doing.
Oh, it all made up for it today. This morning, sunrise paddle, and then there's eagle rays swimming under you as you're paddling, and you're like, "Yeah, it's kind of cool."
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
okay. I'll give you that. I'm very glad that I don't have a boat, but you have a boat that I can invade. So
Well,
yes, that is how
that
it
was
should
my
be.
plan too. The best boat is somebody else's boat.
Yes, yours. Okay, dear listeners, we're gonna have a party next year on Chandra's boat. He's
Welcome,
inviting us.
welcome to the randInt boat.
As long as, can you change the name? Oh my god, it'll be a business expense.
It's a floating randInt.
Yeah, it is a floating studio.
It is technically. There's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
microphone.
Yep.
There is an internet
I
connection.
I think we need sponsors for that to even have any remote chance. Like, this actually has to generate income instead of costing money for that to actually be
Ooh.
viable.
Wait,
If you
boat
have
generate
any,
money? That's unusual.
dear listeners, if you think of anyone who would like to sponsor Chandra's, yeah,
Mm,
whilst the small violin is playing, gallivanting around the world, please let us know.
yes, please.
Oh, but
And
yeah, so it
so
sounds
that's
like
been
you're
me
back.
for the last little bit. and it's been fun, like trying to schedule things as well. The Bahamas time zone is the same as the east coast of the US, which is essentially the opposite of Australia.
Yeah, it is. It's literally like he's like, "Hey, are you free like this time? Like, afternoon my time." I'm like, "It's 3 a.m." you know?
I'm like, I know it's 3 p.m. my time. It's just after my nap. I'll be fresh.
Yeah, what time is it there right now? It's 2:30 p.m. in Melbourne.
Oh, now it's 10:30, but it keeps changing as
Oh,
well. It
that's
also
fine.
depends on what part. This is late. Ugh, it's like way past my
10:30.
bedtime here.
Oh,
Here the
yeah,
sunset's
that
at
has
like
been.
5:30
Oh,
now.
yeah, sunset's like 9 o'clock here. So,
Yeah.
yeah. No, well, I mean,
And
yeah, that has been a bit of a struggle. So apologies, dear listeners. We have tried. This is literally it was last minute, but we were like, we have to do the end of year episode before the end of the year because kind of goes with the title.
bit hard to do it at all. So, how you been?
It's been interesting. So there's the usual end of year rush at work where there's just like a whole bunch happens just before Christmas and then it just goes quiet. And so we're recording this on the 28th of December. And so this is that period where not much happens before the new year. And then the first few days happen and then it's back to the usual grind. But in the last couple of months, we've had some unexpected family illness. And also, my brother earlier this year got married, and they did this in the US, but they're visiting both my brother and his wife. So there's just been a lot of family stuff, like either just doing like rounds to the hospitals and just keeping in touch with doctor's appointments and stuff. And in between, it's just like not only are my brother and his wife coming for the first time and meeting half the family, but like his in-laws, like my sister-in-law's parents are coming.
Everybody's coming.
And yeah, so we've just had like nothing. It was kind of like family stuff, but like more illness related. Then people started coming. And so we're like, oh, we gotta, like, I've done a Melbourne city tour so many times now that I feel like I'm a tour guide. And like, every couple of weeks, someone new will come. Like I do like a slightly different version because I'm getting bored of doing them.
Do they then talk to
Um,
each other and they say, "Hey, I didn't get to see that place"?
It has actually happened, yes. Like yesterday, they're like, "Oh, we didn't see this." I'm like, "Actually, there is a brand new like chai, like tea, but like the
Mm.
Indian tea store. When it used to be a
Oh,
vegetarian dumpling store, just literally around the corner. So like we found that yesterday. So yeah, so it's actually been nice because I'm seeing new parts of Melbourne because you go for a walk and stuff, and I usually explore, but you don't explore all the time because you've got other stuff to do. Whereas this time, it's like every few days I've been taking someone on a tour and finding new stuff. So it's been pretty cool. Um, but then because everyone was
you should be
coming,
like
and
me and explore places more often.
yes, yes, Chandra, the guy who lived in an apartment and knew the two spots that were directly in the line of vision, had never turned right. And then he was like, "Hey, when did this get there?"
It must be new.
But yeah, so the problem was becoming like I just didn't have the time to like finish off the work plus like keep hosting people like that. So yesterday we hired like venues. There's a place called the Eureka Tower, which is one of the viewing platforms in Melbourne, like one of the tallest buildings. And above the viewing platform, they have a restaurant called Eureka 89 Dining, and that has a spectacular view. So weirdly, they were available. This is also a weird time because a lot of venues have shut down for they do the Christmas functions and then they do New Year's, but there's like this little period where they're like not really available. So this one was open. This one actually catered like my family. Essentially, it's halal. Like they had a halal menu. Like the entire menu was essentially halal, and they had these packages available. And the timing just worked out. So in the space of like 5 days, we got it organized, and we had a family dinner. Oh, sorry, a family lunch, I should say. And it was just really nice because I didn't have to. It was just getting like there was just so many people coming that we just couldn't host them individually anymore. So we just kind of had like one big get together, and at least now I feel like I've done my part as the local. And like, I would obviously like to catch up with people one on one and spend more time. But even if I didn't get to do that, I feel like that's done. Like hosting's pretty
Mm.
hard, just trying to
Yeah,
accommodate. It just takes up a lot of time. And I feel
it
like that
does.
was a worthwhile exercise so that everyone and also it's just every time you host people, they don't get to spend time with the others in the family. So this way everyone was there and everyone could mingle and kind of just,
Nice.
if you, yeah. So that was one of the that took a bit of time to organize. So thank you, Jen, who also edits our podcast, for helping with that. Because I was like, and also we just had like brown families, right? They're huge. So at one point, I was expecting about like 30 to 40 people, and then suddenly other people were coming from overseas or interstate. I'm like, oh crap!
Oh,
So I did the numbers. I'm like, it goes up to 60, right?
oh,
And then of those people, some actually end up going overseas elsewhere. So I was like, oh, we're down to about 50. And then like a few days before the event, one of my cousins had what sounded like appendicitis. So then another few people couldn't come. So I was like, oh my God. So like eventually, like we changed the numbers so many times that I think up until 48 hours before, we didn't really know how many people were going to actually come.
it's a surprise.
And then on the day, brown time. This is someone did leave a comment a while ago, and we didn't do growing up brown stories. Just as I think we've talked about this, which is like brown time or island time.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
so we know that, my family, they're not the most punctual. My parents directly, they're very punctual, but the rest of
Oh,
the family less so. So the
they
event
sound
actually
more
started at
normal.
12:30, but on the official invite it says strict midday start. Right. Did anyone rock up at midday? No. Sorry. The one person who rocked up is my brother-in-law because I actually told them 12:30. They're Singaporean. They're fairly on time. So
Did you
so I
think it was
actually told them
starting at
the actual
11?
time
That was probably the explanation. Oh no, I'm so late
where.
for 11. Wait, what?
So on the official invite, it said strictly 12, and my wife sent him the official invite. I'm like, no, that was for the brown folk. I told him specifically 12:30 because it was going to start then, right? But given that the invite said 12 and officially was meant to start at 12:30, one of the key people being like, this was meant to be also like my sister-in-law gets to meet the family, right? So key person. When do you think the last car with like a key person for the event arrived? I can't remember if I told you just before we started.
Well, brown time, definitely 2:30 or so. I mean, it's
Two
lunch.
o'clock. Yeah. Oh, actually, 2:15. Yeah. No, the event was only booked till 3:30. So after they arrived, it went from like one serve of canapes, then an hour break, then another serve of canapes, then like entrees, mains, dessert in the space of like 45 minutes. And then it was
See,
like time
look,
to package up
I,
and go.
I think if it's a brown event, what you have to say is the whiskey bar is only open from 12 till 12:30.
Yeah, but none of my family drink.
Oh no, you can't even do that. Oh, worst. Oh no, that's usually the ultimate solution.
Yeah, there's none of that, unfortunately.
Oh,
But anyway, it ended up becoming great. Okay, I probably shouldn't share the photo. As we were leaving, right? Like, so Eureka 89 is like the dining floor, and underneath is like the viewing platform. And one of the things that's included is that you get to just hang out at the observation deck and just have a 360 view of Melbourne. So we were meant to just go downstairs and just chit chat because they were cleaning up for the next function. My mom and my brother's like mother-in-law, they found the bathroom, and the toilets are like they have panoramic views. It's we have the exact same view like a meter away because we it's just a
yeah.
glass box. This is just a sectioned up part of the glass box. They disappeared in there, and all I hear is like laughter and shrieks, and I'm like, what is going on? Turns out my mum and my brother's in-laws had discovered like bathroom selfies, but they're also kind of older, so they weren't doing selfies. They were getting someone else to take a photo. They're like, yeah, this is incredible. I'm like, that view existed just outside,
Just
like the
outside the
bathroom.
bathroom window, also the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
where
I
is
was
the
like,
lovely
there's
toilet in
something,
the back of the photo?
but it wasn't. It had nothing to do. Like, they weren't taking it in the mirror. There was literally nothing that had to be in the bathroom. And so I kept, like, everyone kept on going, it's like, oh, can you go get them? Like, no, it's the women's bathroom.
Yeah,
The most I can
you
do
need
is
an
like knock.
influencer to get them.
So, yeah, so there is this one photo where, like, they're essentially doing like the Jack and Rose pose almost, like, arms out. Is like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is the weirdest. Uh, yeah. Anyway, my parents have clearly been influenced by their time on Instagram. And yeah,
Clearly.
that was one of the weird, I wouldn't call it a highlight. It's like a weird light. Like, this is some bizarre, yeah, like Twilight Zone version of things where my parents like bathroom selfies. Um,
Well, there you go. New,
Yeah.
new, new learning.
Achievement. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
achievement unlocked.
even though we have been very, very, very inconsistent this year, Spotify does do their end of year wrapped thing for podcasters, and I thought we would share some of the stats for randInt this year. According to the metrics, our audience is up by 5%, followers up by 14%. So I don't know what the audience versus followers difference is. I suppose like number
Oh,
of people who's literally
maybe
following
listening
versus just
versus
listening.
followed.
56% increase in listening time compared to last year,
Oh,
which is pretty decent. Our
nice.
most popular episode, wait, we need a drum roll for this. Oh, is the one that we had with Munib from Samsung.
Hey,
That one was
nice.
250% higher listen through than um, other episodes we've had. And
Oh,
generally speaking, I feel like our guest episodes are actually pretty well received because you can see a little bit of a
mm,
spike.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this was our most popular countries coming in number 5. Any guesses?
Nigeria last time?
Nigeria does
Oh,
not
no, Kenya.
feature this year.
Kenya. Oh,
Yeah, it
no.
wasn't. Yeah,
Man.
I
Mm,
was a bit surprised. It's Canada.
oh,
Number 4, which surprised me even more, is Ireland.
okay, cool. Well,
Yep.
makes sense.
US
Makes
is number
sense.
3. Yep. I mean, that's probably just you
I've
listening to.
just been in the US on a business trip for randInt to drum up business in the cold.
And yeah, number 2 really surprised me. Any guesses?
Australia. No, that's got to be number one.
Yeah, that's number 1. India, because of
Okay.
all that Hindi that we are speaking.
Yes. Tick, tick. Maybe they're
Yeah,
also
which I don't.
like, hey, growing up brown stories. They're like,
Oh,
haven't got it.
that's true. That's true. 'Cause I was like trying to figure out like
Yeah.
how. Yeah. Now because this is hosted on Spotify, we get like our fans' top audiobooks and like other top shows. So this was so weird. I really like if you are listening to this podcast, could you like leave us an email, podcast@photosbyraffi.com, or just leave a message or something? Because I'm just so curious who else is listening because of our fans, the top audiobooks, number 5. This is the one you're like, what the hell is this? Right?
Yeah.
Is called I Turned Into a Minecraft Chicken by Will Zombie.
There
Yeah,
are so
book 4,
many levels to
specifically
this book that I
book
would
4,
like to unpack.
not book 1,
So
not
many,
book 2, not number 3. This is book 4 of I Turned Into a Minecraft Chicken.
yeah. Why a chicken? Why is it book 4? Why is it Little Zombie? What were your learnings? What did you learn? What life lessons
What is
can you
the
take
book
back to us?
about? Just want let's like go with the basics. Does the title like can I judge the book by its cover?
Is
It's
it
a
about turning into a
Minecraft chicken.
Minecraft chicken? The
How do
fourth
you need a
time.
book for that? Number 4, book the most popular that's listened to by the listeners of the podcast is a book called As Sure as the Dawn by Francine Rivers, which looks like one of those, those romance fiction, like the covers look very much like that.
I see.
Like, okay. So I'm just really curious who's listening to our podcast. That's also
Yeah. I'd love to hear
I
if you are the listener who has listened to these books.
yeah, a little bit more self-helpy for number 3, Trust Your Vibes, which just feels very millennial self-helpy by
Okay.
Sonia Choquette, Choquette, Choquette. I don't know how to pronounce that. Number 2, this I could totally believe, is The E-Myth Revisited, which it's a book that by Michael Gerber that I have read. It's about like entrepreneurship and like
Uh,
different systems and
that
stuff.
would fit in pretty well with ours.
That's very yeah. It doesn't
That
mention
makes
AI
sense.
though, so I don't know if wow. 26 minutes before AI. This is a new record.
I know. Wait, Tesla, Apple, Bitcoin. Continue. It's got to get all the keywords
And
in.
number 1, do you know what book number 1 is?
Is it Tim Ferriss?
No. Although weirdly, my wife started listening to Tim Ferriss. So she was like telling me
Ah,
about the 4-hour work week. I'm like, who the hell are
wait,
you?
what?
Yeah, right. But it's a book called Difficult Women by Helen Lewis, a history of 11 of history of feminism in 11 fights. I'm like, okay.
Well, maybe this needs to be
I didn't
our
title
New
the book.
Year Maybe this needs to be what a new episode of a podcast should be. We do a review of the top 5 books.
Looks of yeah, or just summarize what the hell they're about.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally really quite like to know about this chicken book.
Yeah, I know. Okay. How about this? How about this? You pick two. I've read E-Myth Revisited, so I'll pick another
We'll
two.
skip that.
So you can do I turned into a Minecraft chicken and As Sure as the Dawn because you look like a rom-com kind of a person, and I'll
But of
do
course,
Trust Your Vibes and Difficult Women. And we'll give you like what in 2026 one of the episodes will be what our fans want to know about. This is yeah, and I can tell you about E-Myth Revisited since I've already read it.
yeah. Well, I mean, uh, since they're all of our fans, other fans might be interested in these books too. So we can
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you all
yeah,
about
yeah.
them.
Or if you have any book recommendations you want to be randinted about, yeah, let us know. Also, so this is the other part is like they also have other podcasts that our listeners listen to. We're in some fairly eclectic territory here.
I
So
like eclectic.
number five is Danny Jones' podcast, which I actually know nothing about. I'm just going to Google this right now. One you've heard of?
No.
It's supposedly exists to bring fringe cultures to a wide audience through thoughtful storytelling and beautiful cinematography. I don't know what cinematography's got to do with a podcast, but I'll take it. Like
Cinematography,
we
tick.
I kind of see the fit there, like fringe
Yeah,
cultures or like the randint. That's fair,
sounds
right?
random.
Yeah, sounds random enough that I think is fits right. But number four
Oh,
is where we start
that's
to
interesting.
yeah did you have a look?
The Megan Kelly show.
The Megan Kelly show, yep, which fits in very nicely with number three, the Tucker Carlson show.
Oh, there we go. So Fox
Yes,
News.
yes. I
We are
mean,
the Fox
immigration
News.
sucks. Us
We are
brown
we
people.
are the
Yeah,
brown Fox News people.
yes, especially Chandra not going into new countries on a boat.
Yes, welcoming.
Exactly the audience. I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't actually listen to these shows, so maybe they are very welcoming. I mean,
Maybe
thank you for your. Actually, you know what? If you're listening to us and the Megan Kelly Show and Tucker Carlson, good on you for your diversity of like what
yeah,
you're listening to.
good
Like
thought
you're not in
variety.
a thought bubble. You are trying to act. Yeah, I think we're probably more on the left wing version than the right wing version. But hey, these guys are popular. I'll take it.
Open minded.
I'm happy to ride on coattails. Number two makes a lot of sense. Urgent Tacky, which is like a medical podcast. I've
Okay,
heard of it. I
I
haven't
was wondering
actually.
what that one was.
Yeah. Urgent Tacky is like I've heard of it. I haven't actually heard it, but it's a medical-ish one. And number one, I'm like, look, I don't know if it means anything with this Joe Rogan show. I think everyone listens to the Joe
Mm,
Rogan show, or it's one of the most
mm,
popular. So I'm sure it's like
on
top shows
Spotify.
for yeah. So I think like that one's just yeah. I don't know what to
Yeah,
make of it. Yeah, but those were some surprising stats. I have to say. Yeah
interesting. The audiobooks don't match
yeah
the podcasts unless
yeah. True,
that's
true that.
what the chicken book is actually about, and we will find out next year.
Yeah, but I mean, the title, "Difficult Women," like, and if you were a feminist, you chose that as the title. Like, it's like trying to, like, it just sounds like I'm saying something so judgy, even though it's like the title of the book.
I'm expecting someone
Oh,
to walk past and give you a whack on the head now.
and lastly, I thought we would wrap up with discussion of either the highlights of the year or just notable moments. Did you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I'd say actually, because it was pretty recent, even though I've been bitching and moaning and whinging about the cold, which it has been, one of the bucket list item times was anchoring outside the Statue of Liberty on my own
Oh,
boat and getting the drone photo next to it. That was pretty
you
epic.
are, it's okay. So this is something, it pains me because this is like, remember when this came up? Because I was like going,
Mm.
hey, you have to do this thing. So I was meant to be on the boat, and because of a series of unfortunate events, I couldn't be. And like, it pains me because that's the thing that, yeah, I wanted to
Would
be
have been
there.
perfect for you. It was cold. And New
Yay.
York.
It's like, oh man. And the dumbest thing was, right? Like 2 months earlier, I was in New York. Right, like that was kind of the problem. Is like I couldn't make it back because there was a few other things happening in life that were taking the priority. But I was like, it pains me because we came up with this like 2 years ago. And I was like, one day we'll have to do this. And it was like the one time I couldn't be there.
It's like one time in New
Uh
York.
yeah.
So
So what
unfortunately,
I'm hearing
that was a
is you have to
highlight though.
go back. You'll just have to go back.
Yes, because I love the cold. I'll definitely go back again in the cold.
You can go back in summer, right? Like no one's making you.
But then it'll be too hot. No.
Yeah.
But
Oh
yeah, that was
man,
pretty
it made
epic
me really sad.
because
That makes me really sad.
the photos will follow. But actually, now I can post those photos because I wasn't sure if they're legal or not. But anyway, I think they are because it was over the water, possibly. It was taken from a big selfie stick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Totally. Yep. Nod.
yeah, big
Especially the
selfie
country
stick.
that's just banned all DJI drones
Oh, really?
last week. Yeah,
Wait, so
last
they
week.
want me to use my home built ones? Really?
Yes. Yeah, the one. So for yeah, actually, this is before randInt. So Chandra got into FPV drones a while ago. So in his apartment, he used to charge some of them outside in the balcony because the batteries would catch on fire.
Yeah, look, you don't want them catching on fire inside. Like, the balcony is fine.
Outside on the balcony, he also had one of those ethanol flaming fireplaces.
Exactly, it's fine. Look, it wasn't near anything important like the train station being literally across the street from it and grills
It
being
wasn't a
above below
restaurant
me.
downstairs.
And no, it's fine, nothing important. Act with people.
Chandra is all about that. Oh man, like, what would have been worse is like, because I was like your housemate for a little bit, right? Something caught on fire and the police raided us, like brown guy, flammable objects.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you have flammable things in drones? Though I guess back
Well,
then
I'm
they
glad
weren't
I'm not
really a
like,
thing.
I'm glad I'm not like well, maybe I am on the ASIO watch list. I don't know.
I'm sure we both are.
But, oh yeah. I was like thinking of the highlights, and one of them I had to write down because I actually managed to work less this year. This is the least I've
Oh,
ever worked in, like, ever since I've had a full-time job. So that
so
was
6.5 days a week only. Wow. Okay, cut
I'm
down.
down to five.
Getting
5
lazy.
days.
Down to
5 days a week.
days. Wow.
Some weeks four and a
That's
half.
impressive.
I don't know. That's
You got to make up for those with an extra weekend or something, surely.
I've dropped my week as of last week. I only now work one weekend a month.
That's crazy.
Which is, so just for context, I'm not sure if we've ever discussed my scheduling, but it used to be 20 something days in a row, one day off, then 20 something days in a row. And it's been like that for like, I
Yeah,
want to
just
say
a
5
normal
or 6
roster.
years. Yeah. So I don't know how many hours because I don't know how to count on calls because you're not always there, but you're on for 24/7. So I don't know how to count those hours. But yeah,
And
I
I
was
think your
averaging
on
something
call
like,
is more on call than ophthalmology on call.
yes, not like look at it tomorrow morning.
Well, no, it's usually more like, I'm on call. Really? Okay, sure. What can I see in clinic tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, put it here this way. I was on call this week, a few days ago, and so I was on call for the 24th and the 25th, so Christmas Day and the day before, and Christmas Eve, essentially, on early Boxing Day. So, like, it was 8 a.m. on the 24th till 8 a.m. on the 26th. At 3 in the morning, the guy who runs the emergency department, this is like a small country hospital, the medic was sick. So I had to send the medic home in an ambulance. And I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
this is
not
the
great.
most bizarre on call ever. It wasn't the patient, it was like another staff member. So yeah.
That is a highlight, though, that you have worked less. Congratulations. Continue. Keep going. And then you can buy a boat one day, too, because, that's how you work less.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a 0. FTE. It's not about a 0.5 FTE with overnight work required.
What's your other highlights?
Well, the other thing is actually that Iceberg and Nakuru have sort of continued to really grow over this last year. Kind of taken on
To the
a life
moon.
of its own. And what I kind of was like, when I was looking at the photos from the Christmas party that I had recently, I was like, it really is growing up. And that was kind of nice to see.
Yeah. Year 2, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
year 2
considering
now.
like it was, that apartment just over there where you were sitting down on the couch building the first prototype, like in 2 years,
Yep.
it's come a very long way.
Definitely
Like
has.
now, how many, like 30 people, 30 something?
I think there's even more now. Now I'm like, losing track of numbers. I'm just like, too
Yeah,
many
you need
people.
an org chart. God, we're at org chart level.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's been actually really interesting to see. But it's good and bad at the same time because, like, I feel like the more it grows, I can't just drop in and fix little things and drop out again because there's like too many people doing things.
Yeah, things become
but
more
it's
systematized, and it's how it's supposed to be.
which is
Yes,
good, but you can't like, yeah, it's just like less easy to just drop in, fix a few things without ruffling feathers, and then go out again and do my own thing for a bit. Like that becomes harder to do. But I suppose that's part of actually building a good company from the ground up, is that it's going to become a little bit more less flexible, but more organized, which
Mm.
makes sense because it's now an organization. Haha. Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. Look, because I remember last year, like the Christmas present was like my calendar with everyone's picture on the back. Like, I don't think it would fit now, not in any
Mm.
meaningful way, like number of people. So yeah, congrats. That's actually a pretty
It's
big milestone.
yeah, it is. It's like ticking along and doing well.
Yeah.
So we'll still
Yeah.
continue. What about you?
Well,
Any
I've
other
got like
milestones for yourself?
there's a whole pile of little ones, but there's two things like, I try to do actually, I'll mention three in quick fire. So I always try to do one. It is the randInt show, so it's only fair to talk about random things. It's like this position came up. You used to do this, the digital health advisor thing. They came out again this year,
Mm.
and I just left it to the last minute. And normally, this recruitment agency called Medicon Call does the recruitment, and you can apply through them, or you could submit a tender. Now, I've never submitted a tender before, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I literally sat down with 2 hours to go and wrote it out on ChatGPT and submitted it, mainly so that I could just say, you know what, I have submitted a tender. I have zero idea if this is how it's done, but I
I've
have
done a
submitted a
government
tender.
tender.
Yeah, I have. I have an Australian tenders website login that has a tender submitted. I have submitted a tender. It's like, during COVID, it's like, I have done a Kickstarter. Was it a revolutionary brand new product? No, it was a jigsaw puzzle. But I have
But
done a
I've done
Kickstarter.
a Kickstarter. Tick.
Yeah. So I have done a tender for the first time ever. And in case my wife is listening, tender, not Tinder, tend.
Sweet.
It's a government contract. Nothing saucy about this. I'm not going to be on the Coldplay kiss cam.
No, just the government one,
Yeah.
which may or may not
And,
work.
and I managed to go for all these new freeways open. Actually, since you were last here, like there's brand new train stations, brand new freeway, like two new freeways that have kind of opened in Melbourne. And so one had like a fun run where you get to go into the tunnel, etc. And so I decided the night before that I would go for the fun run, and nearly died
Okay.
doing an 8 kilometer one, which is not that big, but I just hadn't run that far in a while. So that was my little spontaneous decision that I decided on a day. Tick. And then weirdly, the other thing has been like, my YouTube channel where it's fairly infrequent, like maybe once a month or once every two
Yeah.
weeks, I post up a video. All of a sudden, like, it's over there in the other bag. Like, I had a headphone brand, Soundpeats, reach out going, hey, we'll send you like these open ear ones. And they're actually pretty good. It's like, okay. And then I have had another phone company reach out
Oh,
going, do
yeah,
I
you
want to?
mentioned.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I'm like, well, no, I'm kind of like working with Samsung. So all I can do is kind of like take photos for you, but like, I'm not
Mm.
allowed to. Well, I think I can do a review, but I can't like endorse it. And genuinely, because like this one has the pen in it, like that is I use
Mm.
it all the time. Like it would be very disingenuous to say it's like, I recommend this other thing that I don't use.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Whereas really
like,
you're using the iPhone, really, right?
yes, that magical fruity device that, yeah. So, but it's interesting because they were like, that's fine. Like, we'll just give you the same contract. Like, you just do whatever you want to. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I got to the point where I could just like go, yeah, I don't like your contract. I'll just do my own thing. And they just go, okay.
Sure.
My channel's not that big. So I'm just surprised that they kind of half agreed. Like, it hasn't been formalized or anything. So if it happens, I feel like, yeah, I made it as an influencer, bro.
I was going
Yeah,
to
I
say the
don't
year
need
of
your
the
crypto no
influencer.
more. Yeah, hashtag blessed. Code
Now you got to
Raffy
combine the
10 for
two so you
10%
can become
off.
a crypto influencer person. That's like the
Okay,
next level.
okay. This was actually pretty crazy, which is on YouTube under the creator tab. There's a thing called Media Kit where it just summarizes your account
Mm.
statistics for brands and whatnot, right? So I just clicked it just to see what the analytics showed, and it's like the crypto influencers, like they want people who are like US based, who are into finance and whatnot. Like
Mm.
that's the demographic, right?
Yeah.
That's the demographic of the YouTube channel.
Okay, well done.
Yeah, I was just like, but I don't post anything about crypto or finance. I don't know how it is. Like I'm just pressing the button
Have
now
you
to
thought
load up the
about
media kit.
promoting boat coin? Because my boat is eating most of my wallet and I need coin.
Chandra's boat coin. Yeah, use code Raffy10 for 10% more boat coin.
But exactly.
Okay,
Just make
so
wire
audience interest.
transfers.
Okay, 17.5% of like the most amount of people on the channel are from the US, right? That is predominantly in the 25 to 44-year-old age group, who are, this is by YouTube's own thing, online banking is a very high interest, home automation, vehicle buying, avid investors and technology,
Are they
luxury
also
vehicles,
interested in
financial
living
services.
life as a Minecraft chicken?
I will look and see. I haven't actually filled too much with the media kit to see how if I can get different stats. But yeah, I don't know how much of this is visible to other brands, but now seems like brands are reaching out based on it.
Really?
Yeah, that was like a weird, like wasn't expecting it to be a highlight, but is a highlight. Yeah. So and
Well,
especially
there you
with
go.
more having more time, I actually want to do a bit more creative things. So if I can formalize it, then it'd be great. And then one of my friends, she does marketing for like hospitality. So she's been helping me because I want to actually see if I can like I bought a Polestar car recently. And I was like, it would really be cool because I actually really like the design of it. The software is still a little bit rough around the edges. It's like the Tesla Model 3 when it first came out, where features didn't
Mm.
work and would like one update would work, the next update would break. So they're at that phase. But in terms of the design of the car, I actually really, 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 really like it. So I was like, hey, and since I had it, I posted about it once on Instagram, right? And I had like 10
Mm.
people message. And just like what Tesla encouraged in the early days, like I've taken, like our friend we were talking about before, I've taken him for a test drive in the car because they just didn't have any slots that were working with the model that he wanted to try. I'm like, hey,
Oh,
I'm actually
nice.
doing the stuff because
Yeah.
like I like it. And yeah, I should just like see if they once they release their new models, if I can take it for a drive or do a video or something. So I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, also if you're listening, come on, sponsor
Free
the
car,
podcast. So
please.
yeah, just sponsor randintboat.com/Chandra
Yes.
for boat coin and
Yes.
stuff.
I could possibly fit a car somewhere here. So come on.
uh, so yeah, those are like the weird highlights. Like they weren't exactly like things that yeah, like
Mm.
actually one of the other big ones was the third event Samsung invited me to was in New York. That's why I was there just before you
Mm.
for their phone launch. And so I was like, man, it was the interesting thing was like there's some of the other countries will just send the same people over and over again. But I was the old hat. Like I was showing my team what to do because I'd been there. I'm like, no, no, this is the
Been
and we
there,
won
done
like
that.
a whole bunch of the challenges as well.
Nice.
So I was like, I can like I never thought my bucket list thing was just to go to one of these events. I never thought I'd get to the point where I'm like, oh no, no, I've been to enough of these. This is the format. This is what we need to do. Like I could actually, this has nothing to do with my day job, and yet I've been to so many of these. That was weird, but cool.
The influencer arc continues. I like it.
All right,
And we
what do
shall
you think
see
we
where
should
that
focus
goes.
on 2026? Can we get a commitment to consistency? This I think
Oof.
is this is the biggest request from like the people who listen regularly. They're like, could you like
Yeah.
try and keep to a schedule?
Let's keep to a schedule. I reckon whenever there's like windy days, but not too windy that I'm worried, in the afternoon after a nap, that would be perfect. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any
So if we could just
that
pencil that
that
in
would work
now.
really well. I'll pencil that
Yeah.
in to the boat calendar. I've
All
decided
right.
that other
All right. How
calendars
about
just
this?
don't work.
How about this? How about this, right? When we manage to hold a podcast session, right? And this will be for the sake of consistency. It will not be the most up to date stuff. We will pre record a bunch
Sure.
of little
Yeah,
minisodes
yeah.
that are
We can
about
keep
random
a
topics,
schedule
right?
then.
And then we try to keep to it. And then because I think the weird thing, this is a highlight for both of us, we started getting people asking to be on the random podcast, like really interesting people.
Mm,
Like one's a CEO of a robotics company, the other guy's doing like this biotech thing. And I was like, I didn't think we were big enough to host these people, but they're reaching out to us to be on the random podcast
would
after
be quite
seeing some
cool.
of our other episodes. So we actually should have, if we, if they're still free, because I think the
Mm,
next time we can have stable sort of times is like April or something.
yeah.
If they're still free, we should have a range of really interesting guests coming up. So
Yeah, it'd be good.
yeah,
I
so
think
I
as well
think
we can use the time middle of the year time, and maybe we can try and get in as many interview episodes. That'd be good.
yeah, so I would love to do like I think we did what 2 or 3 this year. Like I would like to do like 5 maybe or 6.
Yeah, I think that's doable.
Or
That'd be quite
okay,
nice,
my
right?
stretch goal would be to do 10, like almost one a month,
Yeah,
like
that'd be
as in
cool.
one little mini episode and one, and we'd have to sacrifice like these catch up episodes because like it's not going to be real time, but we can kind of sprinkle it in if we actually manage to
Yeah,
align. But
do all
yeah,
of these
yeah.
goals for
So like our little,
2026.
yep, yep. So dear listeners, thank you for staying with us for 2025,
And
especially
randInt
considering we've been
continues.
so, yeah, to its sixth year. Like, hey
Yeah,
man, this is longer than I thought we would make
a
it to.
lot longer than when we started off with the bowl of ramen in your living room.
Actually, that was the time. That's, when you started first dabbling into AI and like Guru, and like that was just before you started dabbling.
Yeah, within that range. Yeah, that was, I think, just programming there
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes.
You were just doing the basic Python stuff then. You hadn't quite started like
Yeah,
the LLM things, but that was like, we were both. I remember you were like making the app, the photography one.
yeah, it's a photo competition app.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for joining us for another year. If you have suggestions for episodes, guests, or just random stories, and genuinely after looking at the year in review from Spotify, I really want to know who our listeners are. I would love to hear from you. Please drop us a line.
Definitely.
Uh,
If you
you can tag us
recognize
either on
any of those
socials.
books or podcasts, let us know.
So Chandra's Instagram is at Chandrashan and mine is at Photos by Raffy, or podcast at photosbyraffi.com. We'll come to both of us. And we will see you next year.
Have a good new year.
All right. Bye bye now.
Bye.